paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
I'll just record a thing now. Hi, if you're listening to this message, then this podcast is less than a half hour long. We're sorry about that. We had a little bit too much fun this week talking about not Magic the Gathering. If you would like to hear the full, uncut, 1 hour and 20 minutes so far, plus episode, go to patreon.com/BSB and sign up at the $20 level to have access to the after hours. You get this whole episode uncut. Isn't that good? Or just prefer a half-hour podcast? We can go do that too for you. Patreon.com/BSB. Sign up at the $100 level and we'll give you just the picks of the week in your own personalized 2-minute podcast. So those are some options for you if you're hearing this and there was only a half-hour episode. So on behalf of Brainstorm Brewery, sorry not sorry, become a patron. Okay, JJ, you can put that in if there's not enough episode.
I think no. That goes at the beginning of the episode, no matter what.
Oh, okay, that works too.
Welcome everybody to Brainstorm Brewery. This is an American finance podcast, a bi-weekly American finance podcast where I, DJ Johnson, glass owner, magic card vendor, petter of cats, read the magic news to my friends.
Jason Alt and
Caslin.
who have no
Sunday,
idea
Sunday,
what the,
Sunday.
who have no idea what the topic's gonna be about.
And Jason nailed it, came in there for the finish. He was picking up what I was putting down.
I'm so confused.
That's okay.
Inside jokes.
I love to have inside jokes on my podcast that I
Right.
own and run and am the host of.
Well, you are a host.
You are a host. I am a host. Jason's a host. Corbin's an ex-host. Corbin tragically lost another one of his 9 lives last week. This one, he came down with a bad case of FIP. It was not good.
Finger in penis?
Corbin got a really bad yeast infection and died.
And it is what's it called? It is obituary. It said beast infection, which is really funny.
Yeast
It
mess.
said
Standard
yeast
typo.
infection. Yeast.
He pissed off
What?
Diane Weist.
He was
She
busy
poisoned
making
him. It was a
sourdough.
Weist infection.
He was poisoned by a Spaniard who heard him pronounce Barcelona wrong.
Barcelona.
Excuse me, are you making fun of my accent?
And he is covering the I think it's called the professional magic event or something like that.
It's
They
the Mythic
changed the-
Championship.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the Rocket League Universal Series.
You know what's cool about Rocket League?
Hit
If
me.
you're really bad at Rocket League, you look really good at Rocket League because you do stuff accidentally that good players do on purpose.
Yeah. The only difference is consistency, you know?
Yeah.
The more you practice, the luckier you get.
True.
I feel like every time I play Rocket League, I'm worse. Like I have like a finite resource and I'm just like using all of it. Sorry. I didn't realize we're all dabbing. What are you guys dabbing? Or anyway,
That's one of Jason's classic audio-only jokes for everyone out there. For all of those listeners of the podcast.
hey, I did a physical act out. If you want to go to YouTube and see my physical act out, we'll flag it in the show notes.
We are rudderless without a hostler to guide us. I am
The worst driver of the four of us somehow keeps this podcast on the rails. I don't know how he does it.
But I want to get to the real meat and potatoes of this podcast, which is value for our listeners. And we're going to do that in one of two ways. We can either run in with a sponsor, one of our famous sponsored segments, or I could tell you guys a little tale, a little story about a gate crash, or no, it's not gate. Guild pact. It's a guild pact uncommon.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, Breaking Bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
Is this how you're trying to introduce Breaking Bulk?
I'm talking about a guild pact uncommon, Jason.
We're gonna smash that bulk. We're gonna pulverize it. What color is
Whisk
it?
it if we have to. It's colorless.
Is
Land
it the
land or artifact?
Is it the creature that's every color, Guardian of the Guild Pact?
Is it like the Scarg Rage Pits, the Gruul land?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
I love that card. It's a land that gives trample, right?
Yeah, Cass just coming in with the fire. It is sometimes better Kessig Wolf Run, because if you just activate Kessig Wolf Run for X equals 0, then you get no power, but Scarg gives a little bit of toughness on top. There's just lands that give trample, and sometimes you just need to turn every creature in your deck into a threat, and this has notably few reprints, and the ones that do are all very old, from like old dual decks or plane chases or just weird ancillary products like that. And so these are still just like $1.50. You can just buy these for $1.50, and you feel bad about it when you put it in your deck because you could have found it in your bulk for like nothing.
I thought maybe you were gonna say Mage Right Stone, but that's the wrong set. And there's some ridiculous $5 uncommons that have multiple reprintings out throughout Magic's history, and it's wild when there's a card you find that most people probably don't know is money, but you don't want to do it for Breaking Ball because it's like, yeah, everyone knew that card was $6. You're an idiot, but
I mean, Scarg was 30 cents until like Innistrad Midnight Hunt era. It just kind of slowly crept up there, and now it's...
I wonder why.
So, one of the reasons why I know this card is one of my favorite commander decks ever built was Nikia of the Old Ways. It was 59 creatures, 40 lands, and one of the lands in the deck that was, like, pretty important was Scarg and Wolf Run. So you got a little redundancy in that. And I love this card. A lot of, like, the random utility lands from Ravnica block kind of are underlooked. Like, everyone knows Sunhome or whatever because of Amulet,
sure.
But all of them are, like, okay at least.
The green one makes a 1/1, I think.
The green-white one, yeah,
Tugazi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe I have a Patreon supporter who I build packs for, and he also has a Nikia deck, and his was he described his deck in his Google form as "I've been drinking, I ain't thinking."
Sure.
He's like, I just have Nikia, and I just want to
play
turn
creatures
things sideways. Yeah.
You know,
Scarg the Rage Pits.
When you know what you're about, you know what you're about, and I respect that.
And I'm about playing enchantments.
Does that mean you have an enchantment pick? Was that this clean, graceful Olympic ice skater segue that you just gave us?
No, but I am picking a Guild Pact adjacent set. It's not Guild Pact, it's Guild Pact adjacent. The set is a Dissension. The color of the border of the card is red, but the color of the symbol in the right side is black.
What's the rarity?
It's a
common.
Rakdos common?
No, the expansion symbol's black because it's common. It's a red common.
Oh, it's a red common from Dissension.
I was being clever.
Is it the one that makes you lose your hand for a turn?
That was...
Oh, that one's good.
Oh, that was uncommon.
Yeah,
no, that was uncommon, but that was the set. Yeah.
Is it the Bad Rancor
card?
The
which one?
I said the Bad Rancor. It's like plus
it's not
2
a bad.
plus
Trample. It's not a Bad Rancor.
Is it the Replicate card? Not Shattering Spree, but
no, it does not have Replicate.
Replicate
Electrokinesis.
Replicate was not that set.
Was Guild Pact? You're right. Okay, so it's a Rakdos card, a red Rakdos card, probably.
It is a Rakdos or. Oh yeah, Rakdos was the only red one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a Rakdos card. That helps.
From Dissension.
Rakdos is quoted
Seal
in the
of
flavor.
Fire?
No.
Ooh, good guess though.
Seal of Fire had more printings than that. That was originally in Nemesis.
Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing unless
we
it's
both
like...
had to dunk on the youngster. That was fun. Nemesis came out the year DJ was born.
We're the same age.
Psychotic Fury.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yep.
banger alert.
Gives a multicolored creature double strike and draws you a card. Not bad for 2 manas.
Very nice with feather and things that are
Yep.
of that nature.
My breaking bulk. I forgot what it is. So I'm gonna open my little notepad here.
She's gonna open her notepad.
I have an Amonkhet blue common today for you.
Was
Blue
Censor common
Censor?
or was Censor uncommon?
I don't know, but it's not censor.
Vizier of Tumbling Sands.
Let me make sure I said the right set. It was. Oh, sorry. It's Hour of Devastation. I'm a
She
scummy
even looked
liar.
in the notepad before she got confused.
I didn't put the set name on it. I just put the card
She
name,
didn't
assuming I would know.
put the set name. What's
It's
the
an
point
Hour
of a
Devastation
notepad?
common. Blue common. It's a creature. I'll give you that even.
I took notes and I wrote down none of the info.
Is it the 1/1 unblockable for one?
No. Goodroll Lurker's from a different set, I think.
Well, there's like
No,
there's
there
like
was
3 or
that
4 different ones.
Snaky Boy. There was a one with Snaky
Oh,
Boy.
sure. The 1/2 Naga. Yeah.
There's just a pile
Yeah,
of
not
like,
gonna get
1/1
blocked.
blue unblockables that I just
So it's a
Right.
blue common creature from
Hour of
Hour.
Devastation.
Hour of Devastation. Is that the horns? Is that the Bolas horns?
Yeah.
Cool.
Something with cycling?
Sigiled Starfish?
It does have cycling.
Oh, it's not Sigiled Starfish then.
That card's
Is
from
it?
Black
Oh,
Gods.
it's the pauper
Strikling.
snake.
It's
there's like a
not
pauper
Cryptic
snake with-
Serpent. I'm gonna call it.
Color.
It's Striped Riverwinder.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
It's a 7 mana 5/5 hexproof that cycles for a single blue mana. It's played as a 4 of in Modern Living End, and the card Bylist to
Oh.
Card Kingdom for 20 cents.
Oh yeah, Living End. That's legit. Cool.
Card's like almost $1 retail. I think it was like 80 cents retail on TCG when I checked
That's a
earlier.
good one.
What are the
Bylist 20
foils
cents.
then?
This is one that everyone will leave in bulk if
Yep.
they're a commander player because it just
Yeah.
looks like a limited uncommon.
And it's like one of the best cycling creatures in the deck because they just can't they can't Solitude in response to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. With Corbin gone, I had to take up the mantle of best breaking bulk player on the cast. So
Oh yeah, with him going.
I'm gonna
listen,
pay
we don't want to speak
have
ill of
his-
the dead.
I'm gonna pay to have his obituary write worst breaking bulk person.
We're fighting for second instead of fighting for third. That's what happens when Corbin's not here.
Who wants to talk about Doctor Who commander decks?
I will quit.
Me getting Lord of the Rings cards. Yeah. Me having
Me
to get
getting
Doctor
Doctor
Who
Who.
cards. No.
No. I'm selling all my to DJ. And I'm not saying it's because of Doctor Who, but seeing timey-wimey on a card sure didn't help.
So I'll say this. WotC finally realized that the worst thing of Magic is the IP. Like, no one cares about any of the Planeswalkers.
Yep.
And everyone who does is, like, good for them. Like, I'm glad you can find joy in it, but, like, you are not the majority. Like, I don't on Vorthoses because, like, they do pretty cool stuff, but financially it's not a popular thing.
Okay, here's this. Secret Lair Firefly. They announce it, and then the Magic movie they were gonna make is called Secret Lair Firefly, and it's Firefly Season 2. But
Honestly,
that's the Magic TV show. It's just
honestly, that's
Season
the
2 of
best they can do with the
Firefly.
IP.
And it's because it's Magic Secret Lair, so that's the Magic TV show. It's Season 2 of Firefly.
Firefly Season 1 wasn't even good. That's my
It
hot take.
wasn't even good.
Every time you go on Reddit, someone's like, the last episode was so haunting. And it's like, no, it's just like an hour long. You know, I can't talk about it on the podcast. It's just not good. None of the writing's
Adam
good.
Baldwin has never been on a good show. Do you think Chuck is good too? You gonna watch some Chuck? Remember Chuck? Remember they made Chuck get buff? That was really
Did they?
funny.
Chuck
Yeah,
got
he got buff for Shazam. Chuck got buff for Shazam. And he did a season of Miss Maisel where he played like a doctor and he was just like shredded, wearing like a short sleeve button down shirt that he was just ripping out of. It was so funny. He's like, I'm a doctor. Of
So I was talking to my fiance earlier about, you know, the actor Winston Duke.
course.
No.
So he like got, I don't know if this is true. This is what I was reading on the internet. Apparently he got shredded for Black Panther and then had to
He
do
got
Us.
shredded.
Well, he did Us a couple months later, and he wanted to
Yeah.
like have kind of a dad bod, so he like fat bulked. So he was like, he just like was huge, but had like the dad belly.
He was just wearing like a
was-
sweatshirt
He was so hot. They gave him little nerd glasses too. Oh,
with the gut. You
Yeah.
thought he was hotter than as M'Baku? Really?
I like dad bods, but like the fact that he was like clearly like strong with the dad bod. Oh,
Yeah, fat strong.
yeah. I mean, literally, I always joke that Wario is the sexiest character in all of media, but like it's only half a joke.
You want my insane 90s media trivia?
Always.
Hit me.
Maximilian Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Mhm.
He's 24 years old.
That makes sense, actually. He definitely bleaches his hair. He's like an LA gay who's like a little too into camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like
in
24,
one-
but he drinks red wine out of a crystal decanter.
Exactly.
And has
like,
a
doesn't
frilled
realize
collar. It's like, honey.
I'm an actor. Everyone wants to be a f***ing actor.
It's in one back.
It's
page of
because I'm a
Shonen Jump
Libra. We're
in, like, the early
expressive.
2000s. That man is 24 years old,
That's just...
and he watched 3,000 episodes of Funny Bunny.
the idle rich, I'm telling you. You don't think Elon Musk has seen every episode of One Piece?
Twice, for sure.
He doesn't even have good anime takes, and he's had the time to sit down and watch all of Bleach, even the filler with the stuffed animals.
He watches it subbed without subtitles and then tries to speak Japanese afterwards. Alright, and continuing our trend this episode of visual bits, we are going to talk about something that was displayed at the San Diego ComicCon this past weekend. Mark Rosewater got on a little panel stage thing, and he just clicked through a slideshow without saying a word. He showed us 8 images of Magic the Gathering. I mean, I assume they're all cards. Maybe 1 or 2 of these is like cover art or something, or some sort of like just a little promotional art. But they are 8 images. He didn't say what they're from. That they could all be from different things. They could all be from the same thing.
I'm hoping these are all Wilds of Eldraine.
They're
at
all,
least one of them is Lord of the Rings.
They're all very different.
Oh,
Do you mean
that
Doctor Who?
This is actually my first time seeing these. That Hydra one's definitely like a Theros one.
There's, yeah.
Do you mean Doctor Who?
What?
You said Lord of the Rings, Cass.
No, what there was a Lord of the Rings image on here. Yeah, it's the 7th one. It's has the copyright for MEE in the bottom right,
Oh, okay.
which
Well,
is Middle Earth
that's-
Enterprises.
Okay, then sure. I thought
That's just
we were...
a bunch of gobos getting written down by...
The Riders of Rohan,
Cavalry.
I think.
I don't look... maybe.
Well,
I'm like, they don't look like the ones in the movie. I'm dumb. Sorry.
JJ will put all of these on screen, either all at once or sequentially. I don't know. He'll figure it out. But we have very, very different image. We got like a multi-headed goose hydra thing. We have some...
That seems like Thrones of Eldraine. The first one and the last one seem like
The
Thrones.
second one is Old Rutstein from Innistrad.
Yeah.
Is that... Okay. You were nailing these so far. You got
Well, yeah,
this.
I mean, Angelo saw it. Jess guy Angelo, and he's like the
I
Innistradi's
saw the
person
tweet.
I know. So he was all over that.
The
Okay.
third one, I hope this is like an Eldraine style camera because it's very cool to me aesthetically.
Yeah, it's
It's a
decent.
guy with a camera, and you can see through the lens that there's
Kind of
like
looks
some
like
sort of city.
Strixhaven, maybe?
Yeah. Also, it's a Ryan Pankos piece, and I don't know if anybody's ever watched his like time lapses on YouTube, but Ryan Pankos is just like a f***ing master of the craft.
Yeah, he even put the little CPAP lines on the guy's face, which he should disclose that, right? The American people have a right to know if this guy wears a CPAP at night.
I mean, you guys are nailing the first 3. The next one is I'm lost on all of these. It's just some.
That-
big
This is
demons.
Ixalan.
Yeah,
This looks like a Mesoamerican god, like a Quetzalcoatl kind of thing.
I can see. Yeah, I mean, this looks like the monster from the first 10 minutes of Thor Ragnarok. Like,
plus
I'm
the
seeing
flying
that.
monsters look like they're like giant bat. They look a little bit mutated.
What is
Maybe it's like
Caverns of Ixalan?
Ikoria.
The set name is Caverns of Ixalan, which is underground, so I can see this being like undergroundy.
Yeah.
Just a big flaming demon thing with a it's got a dinosaur for a hand. I just realized
Yeah.
that. This is definitely Ixalan.
What if
Yeah.
there's like, what if the Omen paths being open caused Ikoria and Ixalan to combine, so like the
Oh,
dinosaurs
so everyone's just like a
mutated?
dinosaur hybrid now? That'd be tough.
That'd be kind of sick, actually.
And I mean, the first time we visited the first time we visited Ixalan, there were all the "this is very shark jumpy" comments, but also there were a lot of but fine, sure. Pirates and dinosaurs and vampires. This is crazy and silly, but also I'm enjoying it. So
I feel like Ixalan managed to kind of toe that line of like being a bunch of ridiculous things that kind of came together and feel a little cohesive.
yes,
Yeah.
I liked Ixalan.
The power was a little weak, but yes, I mean it came on the heels of Kaladesh and Amonkhet. It's fine. The next one looks like a Dimir assassin, kind of. It's very
DJ
Maybe,
uses his different
Massacre
flavors of
Girl-esque.
rogue.
Maybe a Lorwyn elf, actually, like a Lorwyn. What do they call them? Not imperfect.
Lorwyn elves.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, they do have horns, but yeah, maybe it's like a.
Oh, true, they do have
hornless-
horns.
And they also have hooves, and this one doesn't have hooves, I don't think.
Okay.
Those are weird looking feet. Not that I looked at the feet. Not that I didn't look at
Jason,
the feet.
oh,
I looked at the feet
look
normal. I looked at the feet normal.
I think the reason I thought Lorwyn Elvis is kind of aesthetically looks like an Eventide card, like the composition.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's got
definitely
Shadow
more Dimir, or Rakdos rather.
Number 6 this is pretty clearly Theros, another Ryan Pancoast,
Yeah.
big ol' Hydra. I'm getting Alawi from League of Legends vibes from this.
But you look down, there's like vine covered temples too, so that they're like ruins, so that's probably
This could be Ixalan.
it could be Ixalan though, yeah. But I
It's
don't
hard
know.
to tell whether that architecture is like Greek or,
I think it could be Greek. And then we have the like you said, it was Lord of the Rings. Do we have a Lord of the Rings product confirmed for the pipeline?
There's a November re-release of the Lord of the Rings collector packs that don't have serialized cards in them, and there's going to be some new panoramas in there, I think.
I see.
So this might be one of those or something, like some new artworks.
Cool.
Sure.
That Gobbo in the middle looks just real pathetic.
He is not. He's straight up not. He's
He's
Earth
the-
adjacent.
He's either
least
horsed
Earth
or
adjacent.
horsed adjacent.
And then the last one, which I think is my favorite of all of them, is a little
That's some
mouse,
Eldraine shit right there.
a little
Yeah.
mouse with a sword staring down a flaming volcano shadow wolf. Very cool.
And there's
You got a
like
little
his
leaf for a
mount
cape.
probably. He had the
Yeah.
leaf cape.
This is just a Ryan Pancoast appreciation podcast now.
Well, there is that there's a good comic book about mouse knights. So this, I don't know. I kind of like that
Redwall?
aesthetic.
So we went over these pictures, and we can sort of infer where some of them are. But it also just kind of goes to show that these are pictures of sets that we've known have been coming for a while. Wild Spell's Reign is September 2023. Lost Caverns of Ixalan, November 2023. We have the Doctor Who's coming up. We have, but like all of these have been known for the past few months.
Who's coming up?
The
Are you
Good
happy,
Doctor.
Jason? Are you happy with what you just did?
Yeah. I pitched it to you and you're like, we're not doing Who's on First today. We're not going to do a nice, fun, G-rated bit for the whole family. Yeah, I'm going to throw it to you like you threw it to me in the intro.
I'm like about this camera painting that Pancoast did. It's so good. I like the sextant on the camera too. Man,
Well, you're going to buy the art now.
I can't afford a Pancoast piece. They all go for so much money.
Like what?
Like 10 grand is like the low end for his stuff.
Ooh, that's
Especially
not
a
gonna
piece
go for
this
10
nice.
grand.
This is a very painterly piece. It probably will. Pancoast is like known outside of Magic too. Like he's kind of just a generally famous fantasy artist. He's won a bunch of awards. Also, the Hydra, the Goose Hydra I noticed is Jesper Easing, who's my actual favorite Magic artist. Man. So the thing about Doctor Who is I've never seen it and I don't really care about it, but they're making Magic cards for it. So I'll talk about them from like an abstract game design perspective. If you're gonna make us play with Doctor Who cards or make them exist, they did the best possible thing, which is to call Plane Chase time travel. I think that's actually very clever. I'm heavy with that, actually. So that's my note about Doctor Who. It's like, it's a cool new way to Plane Chase.
It is, yeah, it is kind of cool that they managed to, like, actually do something useful while just slapping a really annoying brand onto their their stuff. Because it's just a Time Spiral set that they just like, well, we had these cards ready for Time Spiral remastered or whatever, but we'll just call them timey-wimey or whatever bull. Sell these to virgins and
I am
Doctor
happy,
Who nerds are the only bad nerds.
I am happy this
All the
exists.
other nerds are good.
I'm happy this exists for the same reason I'm happy about Transformers and Stranger Things. I am all in on the Universes Beyond train because I want it to get more people to play Magic and then buy more Magic cards.
Or
That is
just
all
buy
I
more
want.
cards. They could, if Magic products become Funko Pops for some, greasy person to have on their bookcase with their other Doctor Who stuff, cool.
Honestly, just make the game Deckmaster and have this is the Deckmaster Doctor Who expansion. Don't actually do that because that would be bad for the brand, but who cares if we have Gideon again or we have Planeswalkers again? Just give me the game system's the good part, right?
Yeah.
And for every Doctor Who we get, which I don't like, we get Lord of the Rings, which I loved. I would take 5 Doctor Who's for every one Lord of the Rings, to be honest.
I would take 5 Doctor Who's if it was over 5 years.
Sure.
That's how much I want to slow down. I'll take your expansions. I want your expansions made by worse employees who were paid more and released less frequently, and no, I'm not kidding.
That's a soundbite.
That is a soundbite.
That's
And you
what
can
I want.
scream that soundbite into the ocean at Bad Wolf Bay on Plane-Earth.
Do they actually say Plane Dash Earth? Do all of them say that? Okay, no.
I mean, one of them does. One is Plane Gallifrey,
Trenzalore.
Trenzalore.
Oh, we got Phenomena's back. Da, 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 da. Phenomena. Da, 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 da. Are Phenomena's part of... I thought they were part of Arch Enemy.
Phenomena is
They're
the
like a
plural of
sorcery that
phenomenon.
triggers... They're a sorcery that triggers when you plane chase to it.
Oh, that's nifty. I think this replicate, tap, and untap Dalek you control is... if it weren't for the word Dalek on it, I'd be all about it.
Hope they errata it later to construct or something like that.
Yeah.
That'd actually be broken right out of the box if they said construct.
It's very cute for changelings.
Yeah.
Wasn't there stuff that can just make everything a Dalek?
Are they like the Borg? Do they replace you with Dalek parts or something?
No, they're just like trash cans with laser guns that shoot you.
I would be super into a Star Trek Universes Beyond, which is really to say that me hating this is just purely nerd elitism, and I'm in the wrong for it. The more I think about it.
Oh yeah, we're totally wrong, but also Doctor Who fans don't shower. They're the only ones. Everybody else smells good. Every other nerd smells really good. There were people playing a Doctor Who card game at a GP, and some guy took a picture of their butt cracks. He's like, "This is what Magic players are like," but it wasn't Magic players. It was Doctor Who fans.
They were actually playing the old Zatch Bell trading card game. They were there for that.
Okay, so the Zatch Bell trading card game, kind of fun.
It was pretty good, yeah.
You had a spell book, and you had to put your cards in your spell book in an order and close the book, and then your opponent both revealed your spell books, and you played your spells in order.
Yep.
I remember watching the show, but I do not remember getting to play a TCG with it.
Wasn't
The card
Zatch
game was
Bell
good.
just like the guy's anime avatar was a creepy dummy or something?
Puppet thing?
Yeah.
It was like a mannequin.
I remember he used lightning. I remember he was the light. He was like a Pikachu. He was the Pikachu one.
He was a Pikachu.
Classic Pikachu Zatch Bell.
My wife's an anime, or my daughter's an anime snob. My wife is too, because she doesn't watch any of it. But my daughter watched 2 episodes of Card Captor Sakura, and she's like, "This is complete trash." And I was like, "You're a snob. This is exactly for you." It's an anime about a card game, which you liked all of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's an anime about a card game, but it's got pretty princesses and stuff.
Cardcaptor Sakura does kind of go, actually, though. So, I don't know what your kid's on about, but you need to fix that one.
I really thought she would be into it. She liked Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh was excellent.
Your daughter might be an edgelord.
She wanted to go as Yu-Gi-Oh! For Halloween, and I was going to get a dog costume and go as Joey Wheeler.
She wanted to go as Yu-Gi-Oh!
Dog costume, you said?
Yeah, as Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's a bit from
the
the
guy
anime
from the
cast.
show Yu-Gi-Oh! His name is Yu-Gi-Oh!
I get it, but why are you getting a dog costume to play Joey Wheeler?
It's a bit from the
Because
anime.
that was my favorite Joey Wheeler episode when he lost the bet and he had to wear the dog costume.
Of course that'd be your favorite episode, Jason.
Yeah, Joey Wheeler's the best character on the whole show.
Hey, my name's Joey Wheeler. My pronouns
Joey
are they,
Wheeler.
them.
And I'm the kind of guy that just shows up with a deck full of trash commons and just goes, hey, through sheer tyranny of will, I'm going to win FNM. And every
I'm not
once
the
in a
show
while,
friend,
Joey
I'm the
Wheeler
friend
wins
who
FNM.
showed up.
Yeah.
More potentially obscure Yu-Gi-Oh trivia for those who held on after the Maximilian Pegasus bit. In the original sub of the Japanese, Joey Wheeler dies during Battle City.
Yeah.
What? Why? They're going to kill Joey Wheeler.
I'm sure he comes back.
He does. He's dead for like 10 minutes, but...
Yeah. Yugi has the power of the Egyptian gods who control life, death, and the universe, Jason. Come on.
But he couldn't keep his cards from getting thrown in the water?
Kaiba possesses the power of a corporation.
That's not even Kaiba that does that.
That wasn't Kaiba.
Doesn't he pay Weevil to do it, though?
No.
Or is it just Weevil doing it on his own?
No, Weevil was
Weevil's
just being a little...
Are we sure that Weevil wasn't a paid actor? Like, it might not have been shown on camera, but he might have been a paid actor.
Oh,
I
it's
think
like
he-
in Oppenheimer.
What? I haven't seen Oppenheimer. No spoilers, please.
It was a metaphor, so I spoiled a metaphor. You're welcome.
Unironically, I actually don't know what happens to Oppenheimer after the bombs. I don't know if he, like, kills himself or, like, dies of old age. I don't want to know. I don't want any spoilers. I unironically want to go into this movie unspoiled.
It's so much worse.
Does he just,
killing
like...
himself or dying, it's so much worse.
Does he just, like, get really annoying about morals for a while?
Nope.
Well,
I
don't
am
spoil me.
become death, and I know no grammar rules.
Okay,
That's Sanskrit. That's translated from the Sanskrit.
it's a quote from Shiva, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He, like, got really into Hinduism after he killed a bunch of people with his invention.
No, he was into it before, according to a sex scene.
Brainstorm Brewery is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for the family jewels. The Performance Package is the ultimate hygiene bundle. Join over 8 million people worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. We have 20% and free worldwide shipping if you use the code BSB. You'll get the Performance Package 4.0. It's really a game changer. Inside the package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver, as well as in a gift of Performance Boxer Briefs and a travel bag. This is everything you need if you are traveling and want to take care of yourself just a little bit better than maybe you have in the past. Manscaped has all of the tools for you. Join over 8 million people worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. We have 20% and free worldwide shipping if you use the code BSB.
Alright, guys, have any of you taken a look at length at the new Commander Precons from Commander Masters?
Yeah, I've studied them.
I've studied the blade.
Well,
I've studied the blade.
while you were making money on
and-
MTG Finance, I was studying the Roka.
And I minored in feet.
Feet studies.
You can't say minor and feet in the same sentence. We're going to get f***ing demonetized. How many times?
We got demonetized when you were shouting about dog.
How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, DJ? Those two words don't go in the same sentence. This is
You
your
the big
third
dog.
strike.
Christ. So what were your thoughts on the Precons, Jason?
People are saying that they did not put reprints in here to justify the price increase, and that's incorrect. But by sheer virtue of having been reprinted, it just kind of takes some of the impetus away. Like, it makes it less good to have these weird new printings of the cards. So, I think if you're buying them for value, maybe don't. Like, it just seems like that's a worse proposition every year. I think these are fine to buy and play with. At the price they are, with the price of reprints and the new stuff, there's some pretty significant reprints in these, and you know, once these change the price, you're not going to get that, oh my god, there's $400 worth of cards in here. But at the same time, Yeah, they raised the price, and yeah, I think there's way too many products out, and yeah, I'm sort of like disillusioned with Magic right now. But if you ask me, like, should I buy these to play with? If you're gonna play Magic, these are fine.
So
yeah, go ahead.
So one of the things about Commander Precons over the past decade is, back in the day, a lot of value came from $1 to $3 cards that had this was their first time being reprinted. We had things like Cultivate, and Cultivate went from 4 to 2, and then Cultivate still a $2, like Cultivate Farseek, Darksteel Ingot, Felwar Stone.
Ghostly Prison was a big one for a long time.
Ghostly Prison, and just things like Mystic Monastery being $1. There's all these cards of just $1 to $2 cards, and they still were a good meat and potatoes value for the deck. As those cards have been printed into dust, they maintain the same power level, but they add less reprint equity, even though like the cards are still very good.
Yeah.
So like we have decks that have Distant Memory, Windfall, Cultivate, all the tri-lands from cons that are still just very fine. Like Cascade Bluffs is like almost a bulk. Like Eventide Filter Lanes are close to bulk rares now. So like if these exact cards were printed in 2017, 2018, they're like
having
$40.
Rugged Prairie and Cascade Bluffs in the deck would be like $40 right there.
Right, and the cards are still good enough to see play in these decks clearly, but like there's people complaining about the lack of value when the power level is so much higher while the cards themselves are cheaper.
I think also the new cards are going to be a lot more expensive than people think, because they're only in collector boosters and the precons, right?
Yeah.
So like, if you want to get your Rise of the Eldrazi, you either buy the $100-ish precon, or you pay $30 for one that someone opened from a collector booster or something. Speaking of new cards, I actually am the kind of person who never would have built an enchantment commander deck, just like ever, on principle. Just not my thing.
Wow.
And they spoiled Narcy Fable Singer, and I bought a Sarah's Sanctum. Like, the card's just sweet. I don't know. It's like an aggro, like, Sacrifice Matters Enchantress deck. Like, I'm into it. I bought an Argothian Enchantress and a Sarah's Sanctum.
What was that card? You sack it, you draw 3 cards?
Treacherous Blessing or something?
No, it's Cold Snap, I think. Shoot, I don't know.
Oh, Hatching Plans.
Hatching Plans,
Hatching Plans. That's a Dissension or Guild Pact, I think.
Yeah.
It was that era.
I owned like 300 Hatching Plans, waiting for that card to be good in Modern.
Yep.
I bought so many Hatching Plans.
You need a 0 mana sack outlet.
It was like that.
Closet Gix.
It was like
Closet
that.
Gix costs a mana to activate.
Restore Balance and Retether were some of my biggest specs back in the day, of just like cards that looked weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Narcy is the kind of card, like, I kind of wanted to build Tom Bombadil, but 5-color decks are just such a schlep to build. They're just like, they kind of suck to get the cards for and then to put together, and then like all your other decks are taken apart. But 3 colors is pretty manageable.
It's funny you say that, but my pick of the week actually is a Bant-colored saga. So that's a little bit of a preview to that segment.
Ooh.
So yeah, as much as this deck is a little bit easier than Tom Bombadil, you know, to kind of make not a total mess with just bad sagas in there for filler. I don't know, Narcy's not as popular quite yet. Tom Bombadil's still got that, I don't know, that goodwill from being Lord of the Rings. I don't know.
I think also, like, the average person likes 5-color decks more than I do. I'm a curmudgeon who's lazy, who I just like, I want to buy a precon, change 10 cards, and then never touch it again, as far as,
I
like,
want to have
go.
basic lands in my decks.
Yeah.
I like stuff that rewards you for having basic lands, and you can't do that with 5 colors.
I own a lot of cool basic lands. I want to play with them.
Yeah, that's my feeling. And I want enough snow basics to make the running snow basics just for a Draugr Necromancer worth it.
I think you brought up a really good point, Cass, about how these new cards from the precons could be worth a lot more than people think they will. Well, it's weird, right? Because if you pull up something like MTG Goldfish, which claims to know the accurate card prices,
every new card's $30 per Goldfish.
It tends to use TCG median, which is a wild metric that nobody should be using in this modern era. But so some people might get the false conception that, oh, these are these cards are worth a ton of money right now, just because like TCG median is $30 when like you can get them on Card Kingdom for significantly less. Like Abstruse Arcanate or whatever is $4 in Card Kingdom. I cannot stress this enough. Do not just click buy this deck on MTG Goldfish.
Can I add a real thing real quick? I had Mythic Spoiler open, and in the middle of DJ talking, a Ford ad starts blasting in my ear. Built Ford tough.
You know what? Any website that has audio ads that suddenly play like that told their ad network no audio ads, and they're like, right, and then you get an audio ad and they're like, oh, report it so we know where it is, and then you report it and they're like, okay, we got rid of it, but the next one, and people are like, I'm never coming to EDH again. It's like, okay, just use ad block. I would rather use ad block and didn't give us money than not come to EDH reg.
Yeah.
So like 100% we always tell them, listen, people don't want an ad to play an audio, don't do it. And they're like, okay, for whatever reason, somebody who's in charge of that just doesn't care.
There being a dark mode on MG stocks is so clutch.
I dark mode everything.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can do it for Messenger, for Facebook Messenger. I don't know if it exists on desktop.
You have to have like done a thing years ago where you like did a prompt where you like you message somebody like it's the midnight shadow or something, and it makes your Messenger dark mode, and I don't think you can do it otherwise.
Fucking what?
They might have changed it. There's like an actual setting toggle now, but
what is this Sega Genesis cheat code bull?
It was, dude. Mark Zuckerberg was such a fucking dork, dude. He was such a dork.
Was.
You have to type
He's
in
still
Elon
such a
Musk.
he looks like that because he's like, I want to be like Julius Caesar, so I copied his haircut.
You have to type in Elon Musk's kid's name in Facebook Messenger to get dark mode. Like, what is... I'm so mad that this is, like, a feature that I don't have access to anymore. I'm mad.
Yeah, we were born in 94. You weren't there for Facebook's heyday.
It's
Back
true.
when you put your class schedule in.
You know what I'm not mad about, though? These Commander Precons. I am genuinely of the opinion that that these new cards...
I like you handcuffed JJ so he couldn't cut that if he wanted to. Like, you're referring to... You made a bunch of weird after hours into a canon event.
Look at me. I am the filler episode now.
I love these Precons, honestly, for two reasons. One, I think the themes on them are all cool, and two, the most annoying Magic players are complaining about them, and when they're complaining, I'm happy.
Yes.
I don't have to listen to them complain. Like, I'm not happy because they're complaining. I'm just, like, happy they're unhappy.
I just know they're sad somewhere, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, ooh, a little warmth in my heart today.
So,
Yeah.
one of the cards I was referring to was, like, Darksteel Monolith. This is absolutely a card that I could see going down. I mean, it's $20 on Card Kingdom right now. It's one of the more exciting cards from the set. I get it. It pays for itself pretty quickly. I could see this going down, and then people realizing, oh, there's none of these available, and every colorless deck that has existed before today wanted one, and that supply dries up very quickly because none of them are getting taken out of the deck other than the ones being broken by vendors. And so,
right.
That is
People
the
buy
kind
this
of
card and then don't sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rise of the Eldrazi is an absurd Magic card.
I love it. I love when cards have the names of a set.
No! You're...
So here's the thing, is that it's totally a solvable issue. TCG player just chooses not to solve it.
Yeah, but that's not the world we live in.
So I was looking for my pick of the week this week, and I was using one of our sponsors, MTG Stocks, and I noticed, my eyes hurt. The site was so bright, and then I realized, like a fool, I had not noticed the night mode button on the top, the little moon symbol that toggles the website to a dark mode. And all of a sudden, I felt like I was in an even better paradise. I was in MTG Stocks night mode.
Would you say you were in a premium vibe of just being in existence?
I was definitely getting a premium finance experience. Is there more you could tell me about that, DJ?
Yeah, so if you're looking to actually make money off of Magic and just suffer through most of this podcast to the picks of the week, we can help you with that. Our Patreon is going to make you a little bit of money, but where the real money is MTG Stocks Premium. My favorite part is the Card Kingdom interest, where you can actually track and see how Card Kingdom buy list has changed over time. My pick of the week is straight out of the Card Kingdom interest, and you'll find out more about that in a few minutes.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
Someone set me up for pick of the week so I can stop doing this.
I did.
Time for the pick of the week song.
I said you're gonna. I did back. I was like, you're gonna hear my. Pick
Oh,
of the week in a few
don't worry.
minutes, and
Let's JJ cut it in again. Do the song again.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
It's time for the pick of the week.
But they did the song. Why? All right.
But I want to sing too.
Just
I
say
have-
your. It's your
my
day.
pick of. My pick this week is Hapatra Vizier of Poisons, a one-printing gold legendary creature that is seeing play in the modern Yawgmoth deck. It is a combination piece with Undying creatures and Yawgmoth Thran Physician. It being one printing in a modern deck that I think will do well at the Pro Tour, as well as a potentially popular commander, makes me believe that this is a good pick of the week. The card is around $1 right now, and has lots of room for upward mobility.
Has this card really only been printed once?
It might have been on, like, the list
The
or
list.
something.
No, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a one printing all-star.
Yeah. Card's great, too. I think it's the best it's been in the Yawgmoth deck in a long time, and I've played a lot of the Yawgmoth deck. And it's busted.
It's always just interesting to me when certain just things like this slip through the cracks for 5+ years. Just you would expect this to be tossed into a list or some secret layer. It's whatever. It's just when a card printed in 2017 or whatever has not been reprinted, it just makes you do the blink guy gif of just wait, what? Okay, I guess some cards don't get reprinted, and this is the kind of card that we could see a 2015 era spike of like, oh, it's a card that hasn't been printed in 5 years. It sees play in a weekend, boom.
Right.
This card could have that kind of spike, and that's a spike we don't normally see anymore.
Like, if Yawgmoth wins the Pro Tour, what's this card worth? $5? That's all it needs to be for you to make money.
Yeah.
I wish I had instincts like back in the day when I was picking up 50-cent Maliras. I feel like I'm just such an old, grizzled veteran who didn't ever learn the difference between his gun and his taser like all the rookie cops know. And it's just like there's no world for someone like me anymore. You know? I got a real boring pick. I'm going to be real honest. Most of the time I use EDH Rec. I used MTG stocks for my pick of the week this week. And I'm not saying that makes me a failure. In fact, I love MTG stocks so much I write there. I'm just saying I don't have any faith in my ability to predict things that are going up anymore. So I'm going to tell you, get your Showdown of the Scalds while you still can. This is an incipient price spike. Especially by the time later this week, when you get it, this may have already like popped. So you'll have to, I don't know, hope your LGS has it in a box somewhere. Pick them out of your bulk. Basically, I would pull any Saga, honestly, and just throw them in a 1,000 count box, because you never know which Saga or all of them will hit next.
This is a Pioneer spike.
Yeah, on top of the Bombadil stuff, yeah.
Well, it's seeing play as a 3 or a 4 of in the PNLR deck that's seeing play in Pioneer right now.
Well, there you go.
60 carder.
So that was anytime something gets help cross format. If there's any EDH demand at all in another format, it takes off. But I think some of that demand will be sustained long term by EDH. So yep, this is not specifically an EDH spike, but a lot of the sagas are on their way up anyway.
So for those who are looking to pick up my pick of the week, you can check it out on the pick of the week spreadsheet. Normally, most of us will just pick the regular version of the card. We track all of our picks of the week to find out who did the best, and at the end of the year, we have a battle royale. We all fight to the death. We pick a new cast. It's a whole thing. You're gonna love this year's. It's gonna be great. But mine is actually the special version of a card, and I picked it based on that Card Kingdom interest thing I mentioned a while back. So the regular version of this card has already doubled. Ichor Moon Gauntlet, clear winner with Planeswalkers, no surprises there, went from 3 to 6 to 7 or 8. But the Oil Slick Raised Foil has not really moved yet. It's got a little bit of a bump graph. It's got a little bit of a valley. it's coming back up, but it hasn't really moved, and I think that the supply on these is potentially low enough to see the Icar Slicked version of this be like 30. Like this is not a difficult spike, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That card also had like a weird supply thing where it was only in, like there wasn't a premium version of it in the set, right? The only premium version was the oil slick.
Yeah, you have to get like the pre-release promo or the promo pack foil. Like there's no borderless or crazy cool wood. This is the best version you can get. And for what it's worth, there are like 75 total listings on TCG Player, and it doesn't take long to get to the ones that are 25 or 30, so...
Yeah. This feels like a really, like, as far as picking a specific version of a card goes, this feels like a slam dunk.
And it's worth noting that $20 is that weird breakpoint on TCG Player, where if you're selling as a direct seller, then the price goes from $19.99 to $25.99 very quickly. So once something is at 20, it takes very little for it to move very quickly, especially on direct. So if you're a direct seller on TCG and you have these, then you list them at $29.99 and you just wait a few days.
I agree.
Closing out the show with more physical bits. I love it.
This is a visual podcast. All right. Everybody at home, I want to thank you for coming out and listening to this podcast, Brainstorm Brewery. I am your host, Cass Lynn, joined by DJ Dougie Johnson and Jason Alt. Corbin's dead. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you to our listeners and all of our sponsors. Goodbye. We love you.
If Corbin's plane crashes on the way back, that'll be so funny.
Thanks to Corbin for dying.